much better do you think you're getting at that than maybe at the start of the year, and how much more does that need to grow?
Well, it needs to grow a lot. I think that's a issue of concern, and it has been. And then the great thing about a bye week, you're able to go back and do a study. And so I went and did a line game study of us, our opponents, and some NFL teams, and you have a chance maybe to study some things. But it becomes a fine line. Like when you watch NFL films, that's not a real mobile, take the ball down and run for 40-yard kind of guy. That's the issue. It's a fine line. You got to get push, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, but everybody better be on their point so this guy can hurt you more bringing the ball down. So that's where it gets to be a fine line.
Steve, what did you like about what Khalil did, particularly in the second half against Georgia?
Well, Khalil's making plays. It's a funny thing about D linemen. Sometimes they'll get a lot of snaps and make no plays. Sometimes a guy will go in there for 30 snaps, got 5 tackles. So that's what I like about him. He ends up being around the football. Maybe that was the same thing with Shy. From day one, Shy was that way. So it's just the ability to go in and make some plays, be around the football.
Obviously, with Khalil, is he at a point now where he can go 8-10 snaps in a row? He's got that stamina.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't want anybody to go 8 or 10, especially inside when they're getting double teams. But I think he could. We do what we term service drills for the offense. So he goes 6-8 in a row against our offense, our first offense all the time. So that's part of the mental conditioning.
Is this a typical Alabama team in terms of big offensive line, big running backs?
Typical in that very big and physical up front. Really do a good job bending their knees. They're big, thick, powerful young men. Big running back, great stiff arm capabilities. Don't want to allow him to gain steam. He's one of those guys when he picks up speed and he gets really hard to bring down. You want to get to him early. Quarterback's managing game, great skill. Yeah, so I'd say it's a typical really good Alabama team.
With Shy now out, it looks like you got a 4-man rotation. I mean, do you feel good about the 4 guys you got? Are you looking for anybody else to be, kind of the fifth guy?
The next guy in is going to be Quay Paku. Quay ideally would have been a redshirt candidate for this year, but we actually did play him earlier in this year. So, he's been able to get some reps and feel like he can go in and compete.
Obviously, Khalil and Shy were getting a lot of attention as a freshman. What is Owen been doing this year? It seems like Coach Jones said a few good things about him. What do you think?
Well, I think Owen, second year in the program, learned to play hard and play with effort, and I think the rotations helped him. When he first got here, we were playing pairs and spares, and he took a lot more reps than maybe he needed. But so I think right now he's playing with a little energy and a little confidence, and playing with great effort and having some fun doing it. I think he appreciates his clock's ticking, being a senior. We're talking about a 6 weeks challenge, so his football career at Tennessee's winding down.
Steve, it's been kind of interesting. I feel like you guys have been, get 1 yard stops, and they're able to pop a 50-yard off against Georgia. What do you think that is, and what have you guys concentrated on to be able to stop that?
Well, soundness, because we fitted a bunch of plays. I mean, I think you start the Georgia game, I think it was 11 straight plays. We fit them up. They're not gaining, very minimal yards, and all of a sudden, bam, one popped through. We'd have missed a tackle, lost leverage. So those are the areas that we're really emphasizing right now, are leverage and making tackles and exact fits. So it gets a little frustrating, to be honest, when you're good for several plays in a row, and so you just got to stay focused.
What was the biggest thing you guys just worked on fundamentally over the bye week, over the off?
Well, just what you said, fundamentals. It might have been where myself personally, we just worked hand and eyes, and then we really made a focus on line games, knowing that we need to get more pressure with 4 guys, and so that's where I did a little study with that. So it was a good chance to focus in on some certain areas.
What did you say to Shy? Obviously, he's coming along and he has this injury kind of.
Shy was crushed. He has that personality, and Shy, I've always said, that racehorse mentality. On game day, he gets really excited, and he was crushed. And so, what you tell a young man like that is that, stay part of the team. He's in every meeting, so we're keeping him involved, and, he's still got a long, bright future ahead of him. It's just going to be a lengthy recovery, and he's just going to have to, focus on that like he was focusing on this football.
Where is Kyle in terms of being able to help you off the edge? I know we've seen him in that kind of the rabbit package and third downs. Where's he at in terms of being maybe a part of the defense?
Kyle's really developing, and he got banged up, and right now it's kind of the progress is based on his health, but it's coming. The bye week, again, we talked about the bye week. tremendous for a young man like him that could, get a little more confidence in the, rehab and all those kind of things. So, again, I think his role is going to really increase here in the next few weeks.
How do you feel about what you got getting out of LaTroy and Corey Vereen on that opposite side from Dopirak?
Well, I think what you get out of them is soundness. We talked about giving up an explosive play. Those two guys are usually always in the right spot. They know what to do. You'd like to see bigger play capability out of them, and that's what we talked to them about, is making more plays. But what they bring to the table is experience and soundness.
What can they do to get better at making big plays,
we
pass
talk
rush, that kind
just
of
like
stuff?
the line games we've been focusing on for the last week or so. It's the little things. It could be where your hands are placed, where your eyes are placed, how you step through on pass rush, pointing your toe a little bit more. All the little things, to help you make a play.
Is Alabama's run game as close to Arkansas's as any team that you've played this year?
They're similar, a lot of zone. They run some gap scheme, but primarily zone. Similar in that they utilize a lot of 12 personnel or tight end packages, so you get various formations. So there's a lot of similarity to it.
Is your concern that they're just line up and try to ram it right at you?
I think we've actually been able to just sit there and hold points and do okay. We just haven't been exactly sound in all our decisions, you know what I'm saying? Again, I was talking about the Georgia game. I think it was 11 times they ran the ball and were good, and then all of a sudden that 12th one, bam, it pops out there. So that's where we're focusing, is fitting everything soundly, leveraging the football and making tackles.
And what do you do personnel-wise to make up for Shy Tuttle not being there?
Well, Quay Koo comes up in the rotation. He's but we still have 4 guys in there, and so, actually played. As I mentioned earlier, we've had a pair and a spare for a couple of years here, so it's good to have 4.
How important is it to put heat on Coker, who looks to be pretty mobile?
He's surprisingly mobile, and I think you watch the one run at A&M. I think he's getting a little confidence and kind of liking that name tag. Oh, I'm a big physical guy. I'm not coming down. So yeah, you do have to respect that, obviously.
He's hard to bring down, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's a big man. He is a big man. He actually, like you said, he runs better than you think he runs when you see him in some open field situations.
And how good is Derrick Henry?
Well, he's just something special because he's so big and he's so powerful and has such a great stiff arm. There was a play, I think Arkansas game, maybe stiff arm 3 guys right in a row that tried to tackle him. So you don't want to let him get steam. You want to get to him early, and you want to get to him with multiple hats.
Thanks, Steve.